We're going to be talking about energetic alignment versus the hustle culture. I don't believe in the hustle culture. I think it's damaging. I think it's defeating. Over all of the years that I've been in business, I've never seen the hustle culture brought anything positive to me. Actually, the hustle culture landed me in the emergency room. And that is why I don't teach it and I don't subscribe to it. I don't think that our business should put our health at risk, our mental stability at risk, or be a detriment to our relationships. I think that your business should be a blessing, not a burden. And that is why I teach life design as the foundation of building a successful business, output and the success of your business or any relationship. So I focus a lot on personal development and our behavior. And it's something that we have embraced. We do it to our men, work until you drop. And then when they come home, work again. We do it to our women, go to work, come home, cook food, clean house, see about children, do homework, get ready for the next day. And we're just running hard. Like if we are a machine or our men are machines, and those things damage our relationship. It reduces the attraction we have for each other. We just see each other as batteries in the system. We're irritated. We're arguing for foolishness. Hustle culture not only diminishes your health, it interferes with your mental state, your emotional state. It wears you down. It causes you to feel demotivated. Sometimes it even goes as far as depression. For me, I landed in the hospital while I was riding in the back of the ambulance. I said, what madness is this? They thought I was having a heart attack. Then they thought I was having a stroke. They rushed me to the nursing homes. I'm laying out in the nursing home in the emergency room. And only after, when all the blood work come in and they hook me up to all these machines, I have myself in the hospital because I am struggling with chronic fatigue. My selenium levels were too low and my oxygen level is too low. I was so irritated with myself. So I vowed then in that emergency room, I'll never end back up in an emergency room because I did that to myself. My clients are here. And when they tell me that they are emotionally drained or exhausted, I tell them, take a rest. Take a break. Take 2 days off. I will never tell you, push. You're going crazy. You're emotionally frayed. And people telling you, push more, do more, give more. I want more, I want more, I want more. That is not in our best interest. We have to prioritize our well-being. We have to prioritize our mental health as well as our physical health. First thing I want to tell you, people love to say you're lazy, you have no ambition, you are making excuses. Now, we have people that actually do those things, but that's not everybody. So you're not lazy, you're just not excited or motivated by what you're doing anymore. Now, having said that, doesn't mean that you don't like what you do. You're just not excited or motivated. And that can happen for multiple reasons. When you are in business and you're doing your 9 to 5, what happens is you still, and if you're a mother, you have motherhood, you have your business, you have life to deal with, and you also have other issues that come up. You have all of those things happening. You are drained. You are tired. When you're not feeling motivated to build a business, it's not that you are lazy or you don't have ambition. It is that you are tired. Those of us who feel misaligned, this is where sometimes your to-do list is too long. I have been guilty of this many times. It's an unrealistic to-do list. And because we have an unrealistic to-do list that is not strategically put together, you feel like if you are not accomplishing anything. We have to have better constructed to-do list. I always say you put one big thing on your to-do list and 2 smaller things. And here's why I say that. For every task that you put on your to-do list, there are multiple tasks or multiple mini tasks that you have to accomplish in order to fulfill or to complete that particular task. So when you put multiple big tasks, that is why you can't get through the to-do list, because it's not humanly possible to do it alone. So the next time you're doing a to-do list, instead of doing yourself a disservice by putting too many big things on the to-do list, put one big thing and 2 small things. Start with the smallest thing or the thing that you're going to complete the fastest and the easiest. Get that out of the way. Then move to the second and then handle the biggest thing third. There is a shot of dopamine that is released in our brain when we accomplish something. So accomplishing something small, even though it's small, it gets us excited and it gives us a boost of energy and focus. So we are moving strategically with our to-do list. We have to be smart about everything when we are doing business. When I was building my business, one of the mistakes I made was I put too many things on my to-do list. I was over-ambitious. So I was always frustrated, burnt out, overworked, overwhelmed, underwhelmed. Always feeling like if I'm failing because I'm never getting through my to-do list, because every single day, something from the day before is moving over to the next day. I can never start a day with a fresh to-do list. I feel better now because I get through a lot of stuff. When we are building a business from survival or urgency, we tend to push ourselves too hard. You want to build your business with a flow. You don't want to force anything. You don't want frustration and fed upness every day. You feel fed up and frustrated with the business. That's negative energy you're putting into the business. But when you develop a nice flow, whether it is a creative flow or a work flow, we work better and we increase our productivity and our output with greater ease and clarity. And we feel better about ourselves, right? And we will build our business with more confidence and more satisfaction and fulfillment when we work from that place. I tripled my productivity. People ask me, how am I able to get so much done? How do you learn so much? How do you do so much? It's because I have a strategy, right? I do learn a lot and I do complete a lot, but it's not because I'm some superhuman. It's because I have a structure and I have a productivity plan that is aligned with the output that I want for every day, that is aligned to my ultimate goals. My clientele increased. I went from having 5 and 6 clients to having 40 and 50 clients. I went from having 40 and 50 clients to closing hundreds of clients every year. And of course, once you start being more productive, you're going to have higher levels of output. You're going to have more clients. And guess what happens? You're going to start to make more money. The next thing is laziness. Is what we call laziness sometimes. It is often a sign of decision fatigue. We have too many decisions to make. It's like executive dysfunction or emotional resistance, but it's not a lack of ambition. You have to assess yourself and see if you are actually lazy and entitled, or if you have decision fatigue, executive dysfunction, or emotional resistance. And when you don't feel excited, your brain defaults to hesitance, procrastination, and avoidance. So if you are chronically procrastinating and hesitating and avoiding, and things that could get done in a couple of hours taking you months, and things that can get done in a couple of weeks taking you years, then you have to pay attention to self and what you're going to do to improve that or change that attitude or that behavior. Because now you are self-sabotaging. When you get to that place where you feel like like my husband likes to say, I'm feeling it today. So when you feel like you're not motivated to move or motivated to do, when you get to that place, do some introspection, some reflection, and then some planning. Remember that that's not a sign of failure. It's just a warning signal of what's going on with you. Avoidance is data. It is not a lack of ambition or laziness. Now, I am not here talking about lazy people, This is not an excuse for lazy people. I am talking about people who are having symptoms that is affecting their success. That is not laziness, but people tend to label it laziness. Please know the difference. If you want to speak with me personally, you can book a clarity call, or you can subscribe and I will come on and have a chat with you, or you can get me in the DMs where we can have a deeper conversation. That's if you want me to answer specific questions to your business, or if you're not clear about something. Again, we're talking about people who think they're lazy or think they're lacking ambition when they're really demotivated and distracted with their business. It could be because you are tired physically or emotionally, psychologically. It also could be that you've been putting in the work and you feel underwhelmed because you're not getting the results that you would have hoped for given the amount of work that you would have put into the business. So the alignment equation, it's a 3-part formula, and the first step is energy. Where do you feel drained versus energized? The second step is effort. We focus on what feels like heavy lifting versus a natural, easy, genius zone. Assess what feels like heavy lifting. It feels like a burden. You know, for some people, content creation feels like a burden. For some people, showing up live feels like a burden. For some people, doing their accounts feels like a burden. If you're a night owl like me, you come alive at night. Things that you would take all day to do, like hours and hours during the day to do, you will probably do it in a couple minutes. Or if it will take you hours during the day, it'll probably take you 1 hour during the night. That's when you're in your creative zone and you're flowing. Also, when you're doing similar tasks, the brain is in that space and you can do multiple things in the same topic or the same activity cluster. You do it really quickly. You're dragging during the day, or you're very distracted. So you're either dragging or distracted during the day, or you're dragging and distracted during the night if you're an early bird, right? Step 3 of the formula is the end goal. Are you clear on why the task that you're doing matters? What is it attached to? Because sometimes we are doing things that's attached to nothing and we're just stroking our ego by pretending that we are being productive and busy. It is busy going nowhere. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the last 7 days. Ask yourself, what tasks did you do that mattered to your business? Remember, we spoke about revenue generation. We spoke about business operation, administrative, structure, systems. We spoke about all of those things, right? When we are talking as entrepreneurs, right? We're not just talking about general life. When I'm talking about general life, I will tell you. The next thing would be, what do you procrastinate the most around? And what did you dread showing up for? So there are tasks that we have to do, but we drag and we complain. The first one would be, what did you resent doing? Now, when you start to go through information like this, you are better able and more aware of what you are doing and why you're doing it. And then now you can start working on the alignment. Because if you don't have this information, then there is no alignment. There is no awareness. And we need to have that if we are to succeed, okay? Now that you have this information, now you can execute the AAA formula that I gave yesterday. It's a little bit more accuracy. If you felt like you were feeling like you were forced to do a task, drop a me in the comment. You hated doing a task, but you felt forced to do it. So are you ready to stop struggling? Because I'm going to give you one of my proven formulas that I have used for close to 17 years and has worked wonders for me. In your workbook or in your notebook, write 3 columns. So just draw 3 columns. In column 1, you're going to put pause. In column 2, you're going to put delegate. And in column 3, you're going to put release. In column 1, I want you to write one thing this week. In the next, when I say a week, we'll always go with 7 days, right? One thing you could just pause on. Like, let me just give that a rest for a while. So what are 2 to 3 things that you could pause on over the next 7 days? And it's not going to affect your life, your business, your money in any way. 3 things. All right, delegate. What are 2 things in your business that you could delegate? That you've been holding on to? Yes, you can do it. Yes, you are good at it. But you are the CEO, you are the business owner, you are the entrepreneur, you are the brain, you are the creative, right? And you need to be focused on the higher level things. So yes, it might be something that you can do and maybe something you like to do. However, it is not a high level thing and you can delegate it and get it off of your plate so that you can focus on higher level things. Then number 3, what are 4 tasks, roles, or expectations you can release this week? Whether you outsource it, you just decide you're not doing it anymore. It's important, it's critical, but you have people around you. Thank you for the daily help me. And you can delegate it to a team member or you can hire someone to do it. And then number 3, what can you release? What promise did you make? What task did you take on? What role did you take on? You know, some of you want to be everything in the business. You want to be everything. You want to be everybody babysitter. What role, task, or expectation or promise that you made that you need to release? We spoke about energetic alignment versus the hustle culture and why that is not serving you. Redefining laziness. feeling demotivated and lackluster and unfulfilling your business is not necessarily laziness. You're not failing. It's just really a warning signal. And then we spoke about the three-part alignment equation. The three-part formula is energy, effort, and end goal. We spoke about the activity prompt that you can do over the next 7 days. You're going to take the information from the 7-day 4-part prompt that I gave you and use the 3A formula that I gave yesterday so that you can move forward with alignment, with awareness, and you can move forward with action, strategic action. We just wrapped up the energy audit because we need our energy in order to be productive and to increase our output so that we can make more money in business. This whole week is about mindset and personal development that we need to improve, or things that we need to stop, or things we need to add so that we can tangibly increase our productivity and our revenue. A lot of people have been emailing me, messaging me, DMing me, and the number one cry I'm hearing is content creation, right? It feels like it's a draining task. Content is a blessing. Content is a heavy task, but you have to remember marketing hands over to sales. And content is a huge part of your marketing. So you have to get accustomed to content creation, or you have to hire someone. It's not something that you can avoid. Content marketing is what is going to help you to grow on this platform. There are people right now while I'm on this training series who are going through my social media platform and getting information about me, information about how I help my clients, and the content is doing the heavy lifting for me. While it is something that a lot of people don't like doing, it is not something that you can avoid doing, unfortunately, for those who don't like doing it. How we make content creation easier for ourselves, because it's a must. Months from now, people are going to be seeing content that I put down, and it's going to work for me. It's going to close sales for me, clear up a question that they have. So it's not something you can get around. I created some tools that you can use. So one, you can hire someone to do it. But even with hiring someone to do your content, you still have to be involved because you are the creative mind. You are the one with the information. So there is no 100% escaping content creation. Hooks are very important when you're creating content because that's what stops people and get them reading. You can get the 320 captions. So that's going to help you. You're going to get the 400 email and blog prompt, 40 hooks that you can use. So that is going to help you. I have created a 30-day content guide for you. Follow that as well. Use the tools that I'm giving you along with the content plan that I've created for you and start creating content. Look at this. When you understand how to create content. I was so impressed by this. This is her creating content. No, this is the person who just said she didn't like it. And look at the kind of content she's creating. Let me come back a little bit.
You're not feeling. You're just tired. And that's valid.
So cool.
You deserve care.
Y'all can give her a clap. Isn't this cool? I love it. Look at this one.
It's 3 a.m. And your baby finally sleeps. You're wide awake.
I'm so proud of her. And when you understand who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, and what you're saying to them, and what is going to be appealing. And you don't have to always put your face in the content. You can create content that is relatable, it connects, it sells, and your face was never in it. She's using her voice. And inside of there, she's also allowing people to see who she is, because the service that she's providing is a very in-person service. So they need to know who she is. So you're just capturing content. This is what I teach you all, and this is how I help you all with tools. You can't guess your way through this. You can't struggle your way through this. No matter how you try, you're going to get stuck and you're going to look like an amateur, and people are not going to take you seriously, right? So you get the tools and you execute. And that's what I do for you all. As small business owners, you can't, especially if capital is a problem, you cannot pay to get people to do this for you all the time. You need to get the tools, and you need to get the guidance, and you need to learn how to build your skill as a creative. And not only build the skill as a creative, but also to protect your content and protect yourself and your identity online. Those fraudsters that come on and duplicate our pages and stuff like that. But there are things that we can do. We can screenshot it and we can show it to our community. We can work towards getting our blue tick and getting verified on platforms, so that once you have that blue tick and you report a page that's duplicating, you don't pull it down, right? The problem on TikTok is that TikTok only pulls down the pages if there's a violation. So when they duplicate your page and they're doing it for fraudulent activities, they try to keep all violations off the page, because they know without a violation, TikTok is not pulling the page, right? So the goal for most creatives now on TikTok in particular, Instagram is a little bit different. Once we report fraud on Instagram, they pull the pages. But here on TikTok, it's not that easy, right? But back to creating content. You can't not create content. Content is what does the heavy lifting for you. Marketing is what does the heavy lifting for you. It is what pushes you forward. You are supposed to be the thought leader, and you're not. Somebody else is. I did create the 320 caption guide. You all can get that. You will write your content or your captions, your sales and all of that, or you'll have to get someone to ghostwrite for me. I personally don't like that because I think it's kind of deceptive. There are things that we do and there are mindsets that we have that hinder us. There's fear, there is doubt, there is you failed in the past and you're afraid to do it again. Maybe I had a client, she was bullied on social media and she was very, very hesitant to get back on, but she's gotten back on and she's been making money on social media. She's promoting her business and she's moving forward. You have to know how to handle all of these things. You can't allow that fear, that mindset to hinder you from growing. Also, you cannot allow the mindset of entitlement and dependence to also keep you stagnated. And you cannot have this freebie mindset as well that also hinders you from growing your business and making money, right? Because you have to pay to play. And if you're not paying, you'll stay stuck with trickles of things coming your way for years, right? If you have fear, you'll stay stuck and you won't move. If you're not clear about what you are about on these platforms and what your goal is on these platforms, you're not going to have success either, right? And if we are not paying attention to cultural coding that keeps us stuck in defeated behaviors and mindset, we're not going to grow. If you're feeling stuck with content and you feel like it's very hard, I will send an email tonight or early in the morning with some tools that's going to help you to move, right? Because once you get clear and you get help, your content creation speeds up. And of course, if you create content that is in alignment with your customer journey and your sales funnel, you will always be making money. And that's how it gets easier. I'm going to give you all another formula and then we will end, okay? So this one is productivity formula. This is what helps me to produce so much and to produce at such a high level. So let's go to the productivity formula. It's called PACE. So P, prioritize the purpose, not the task. Some of you all prioritize tasks. Let's flip that. You want to prioritize purpose. And purpose is always in alignment with elevation, acceleration, success. A, align with your energy zone. If you know you are a night owl, then try to put the work at night. But don't burn yourself out all day and then try to have energy at night. Night owl or not, you're tired. C, use your calendar like a pro. Can't tell me you are an entrepreneur or you're a business owner and you're not tied to your calendar. When you get up in the morning, your calendar tells you what you need to get done for the day. I know I have to come on here and teach and be with you all this evening, but I know I have to check my calendar because I may have coaching during the day. And when I get up in the morning, and those people probably booked last night, right? So when I get up this morning, I have to check my calendar to see what is it I have to get done. When I know I have to get certain things done that's going to be time consuming, I block off the time on my calendar so nobody could book that time. If I know I want certain amount of times to rest, I block that time on my calendar so nobody can book that time. The calendar also helps you with organizing your time. So you know when you are creating consults or you are doing tasks, you have to know how long does this task take to complete. So when you're putting it on the calendar, you know, okay, this is going to be from 9 to 10. I would need a 15-minute break after that because maybe I'll be tired, maybe I need to hydrate, maybe I need to go and walk in the garden. This is not negotiable. And I'll tell you, when you start doing this, you're going to see high levels of productivity because now your calendar manages you. And then E, execute with boundaries. Too many of you are claiming to be entrepreneurs and claiming to be CEOs and claiming to be business owners, and you have no boundaries. What time people can call you, what's the latest time they can call you. You don't even have boundaries for your offers. Somebody paid for a do-it-yourself offer and they're demanding VIP treatment and you jumping in to give them VIP treatment. They did not pay for VIP treatment. They paid for do-it-yourself. Each one of those offers require different time commitment, energy, and resources. So have boundaries. And this is why it's so important to write out your product descriptions as clearly as possible. That is why it's so important to understand what are your features, what are your benefits, and what is the promised outcome for your offers. And that's going to help you to set boundaries. It's also going to create clarity for the customers. So that's the PACE formula. Use it. Prioritize with purpose, not prioritize tasks. Some of you all doing tasks, running like a hamster on a hamster wheel, going nowhere. You're tired at the end of the day, and those tasks didn't produce one diddly squat. It didn't tell a client more about you. It didn't clarify the value of a product. It didn't move people closer to the point of sale. It didn't move people to your email. It didn't invite anybody to follow you. It didn't invite anybody to come and talk with you in your DM so that they can get clearer about what you offer, or so you could go deeper with them and move them to a call or move them to a sale. It didn't help you complete a task that is connected to a major goal. I have a question. Y'all know I like questions, right? How many of you feel guilty when you rest? Part of being productive is resting the body, resting the mind, resting your eyes, resting your voice. You should not feel guilty when it's time to rest. It's part of the productivity strategy. You need to just create a space where you just exist in the space and you're not always thinking about something, working out something, strategizing, trying to execute something, trying to complete a task, right? Could we commit to not feel guilty when we need to rest and just go rest? It could be going to bed a little earlier. It could say, every Tuesday I'm not going to work. Take a day off once for the week. That's a great part of being an entrepreneur. You get to decide how your days go. You get to decide if I'm going to work 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 3 hours a day. I'm not working today. And one of the ways to not feel guilty is if you schedule it. Every Tuesday, I rest. You say, I'm going to rest. On a Friday, you can say Fridays is family night, family and friends night. I'm not going to do anything after 5. Saturday, I'm going to sit and reflect. Sunday, I'm going to plan and get ready for the week, right? Plan the days and create a holistic productivity schedule. And P, prioritize the purpose, right? The activity that is associated with that is write down your top 3 business goals for this month. So we're back to the PACE formula. I'm giving you work to do and then we are done. Write down 3 business goals that you want to complete in a month, which is 30 days. And then I want you to write down 1 to 3 direct tasks that will move you towards the completion of that goal. Try and avoid the busy trap. Being productive is being strategic. Step 2, align with your energy zone. Track your energy for 3 days, morning, evening, maybe around lunchtime, and at night. And remember, if it feels like heavy lifting all day, you're working against your natural design. So you need to figure out when is the best time of day for you to be productive. When you are in your flow, it doesn't feel like it's heavy work at all. And remember, what gets scheduled gets done. So no more randomness, no more hustle culture, no more winging it. E, execute with boundaries. Audit your distractions. What's stealing your focus? Turn off non-urgent notifications. Use a timer for 25 minutes. Sprints when you're working. So you don't want to work for 3-4 hours. You sit down until your feet swollen. You get up and walk, you get up and hydrate, you go use the bathroom, you go get some fresh air, you laugh with someone, right? And you stay away from the task for maybe about 5-10 minutes, right? Now, if you're in a flow, don't break the flow, Tell your family your work hours if you're working from home. Let your husband know, let your children know, let your friends know, so that they don't interrupt you and distract you when it's time for you to work. That's it, guys. I will send you the 10-step productivity blueprint and along with some other content creating tools. These tools will come up again when we are doing content creation. All right. My goal is to see you all accelerate your productivity, increase your outcome, and make money, because it's very discouraging when you are building a business. The expenses doesn't stop. So you should be making money monthly. But for some people, they're so inconsistent. So we need to increase our productivity. Remember that you don't have to push harder. You just need to be more aligned and work smarter. And always remember that your energy is your most valuable currency. And that is what's going to help you to help your business begin to grow with a flow versus frustration and forcing success. You are in the driver's seat and you get to decide. If you're making money, it's because of what you are doing to make money. If you're not making money, it's because of what you are not doing that's hindering your revenue flow. Always remember, if it's to be, it's up to me. Bye.